Pikachu!
Hello beautiful bookworms! My name is Katarina and welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a special video with my special friend Pikachu. So yeah, rumors say that I'm as tiny as him, but I don't know if that's true. So we all know that is October already, and we all know what happens in October, and that is Halloween, but I don't know if you all know what happens in October this year, which is a very amazing thing, which you've probably seen by the title of this video, in which I really want to participate because it is hosted by some of my favorite people on YouTube, and I will be sure to leave the links to their channels down below, if I can remember, which I hope so, because they do deserve it, and they have all of the work to put this together, so many thanks to them. And yeah, I'm just gonna go into the video, everyone. So one of the things that happens in October, and that I believe I took part in last year and I want to take part this year as well, it is SBOOKTOBER, and that basically is kind of a whole month filled with things that you can do: watch horror movies, do video challenges, Instagram challenges, and everything like that. And then there's a readathon, which is the only thing that I'm going to participate because this is a month where I finish my thesis, give my thesis, and then prepare my defense for the thesis, which is going to happen in November, so I can't do a lot of the challenges, so I decided just to do the readathon. And this year the readathon is pretty nice, so you have to join a clan of mystical creatures. You have, I believe, 4 or 5 possibilities, I am not sure, one for each host of the readathon. And all of the clans together are going to go into a haunted house, and they are going to try and defeat the monsters of the haunted house. So you have different challenges for each clan that you choose, but you have 5 challenges that are normal for everyone. So basically you have 7 challenges, and you have a week, I believe, to read 7 books, basically, or less if you want to double up on challenges. So I already chose my TBR and I already chose my clan, so I decided to just jump right into telling you what I'm going to read for that week. So my clan is going to be the Brujas, which is, I believe, Derby from Derby Lane's channel. Clan, I'm going to leave it linked down below, I think I already said it. But yeah, I chose them. Brujas is kind of the Spanish word for witches, or Mexican word or something for witches. So I am really excited for this one because I really enjoy witches, and I don't mind being one for a week if all it takes is read some books. So firstly, I'm going to show you the books that I'm going to read for the first 5 challenges, and then I'm going to show you the books that I'm going to read for the 2 challenges that have to do with my specific clan. So let's just get into it. This is getting really warm in my head and I'm just losing it. Okay, so I took the hat off because it was really warm, but yeah, just let's go to the TBR. Okay, so the first challenge is Join SBOOKTOBER, and that is read a Halloween themed book of your choice. And for this one, I chose Happiness by Shuzo Oshimi, and this is the 7th volume of the Happiness manga series, which is basically a dark, deep, involving series about vampires and other night creatures, and serial killers and other unpleasantries, which I do believe it is fairly themed for Halloween. And because I really want to continue with this series, and there's another book coming out, the 8th volume coming out, I really want to read this one. I already read the others, so I decided to just pick this up and read it because vampires, you know, Halloween, it's a thing. The second challenge is Clan Up, and that is pick a clan and read a book featuring your clan mascot, which for me, it's going to be witches or wizards or something like that. And for this one, I chose The Ancient Magus Bride, volume 9, I believe. Yeah, it's volume 9. And this one is by Korei Yamazaki, and basically this is the story of this kind of monstrous creature, and he is the last magus, which means the last sort of magician of rural England, and Chise Hattori, and she is his apprentice because she possesses a deep, strange, and rare sort of magic that kind of dooms her to die fairly young. So this has a lot of magic, it has the witchy vibe, the themes for it, and it's also one that I really want to read because I've been waiting for this for a long time already, and I've read the other books and I really want to know what happens in this one because the last one hanged on a very, very ugly cliffhanger, and I really want to know what happens. Challenge number 3 is enter the haunted house, and that is read a book that includes a haunted house. And for that one, I picked up Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin, and this one, basically, if you don't know, is a story about this couple, and I believe that she's pregnant or they already had the baby, I'm not sure, and there's something going on, and people assume because the book is called Rosemary's Baby that the baby is going to be possessed or is going to be the Antichrist or the child of the demon. And I don't know, I am trying to keep away from spoilers, but in the back of the book, it says that it's a story about evil and terror, a classic of the genre, and it has to do with the house. So maybe the name is just about the couple and their baby, but specifically the evil thing is in the house. So I don't know, but it kind of appears like it. If not, it is a very well done clickbait, if you ask me, but I really want to read this because it is tiny and is a horror classic, so yeah. Challenge number 4 is perform an incantation. Read a poetry or short story collection. And for that one, I chose Nocturnes by Kazuo Ishiguro, and these are basically 5 short stories about music and nightfall and romance and everything like that. I hope there's a little bit of mystery in them because normally Japanese writers are really good with not doing just the romance and exploring other themes in their books. So I don't know, I can't wait to see. I already read a book by Kazuo Ishiguro, which is Never Let Me Go, which had a movie adaptation. I believe that pretty much all of you are familiar with it. If not, it's a pretty cool book, but I didn't feel like it was a favorite, so I'm giving his short stories a chance just to see if he's better in his short stories or not. So yeah. And number 5 is Face Your Fears. Read a book based on something you are or have been afraid of. And for this one, I'm gonna choose Silent Voice, Volume 1, which is by Yoshitoki Ohima. That is a very difficult to pronounce name. And you all gonna go like, wait, isn't that sort of a contemporary story? Like, what have you afraid of in this book? And I am going to explain this to you. This is going to sound a little bit lame, but this is actually very honest and very truthful. I am scared of bullying and of people that actually are comfortable with bullying people. And that is because on my time, when I was little, I was also a little bit bullied by some of my classmates, but nothing to the point of this book where this girl had to actually leave school because physically and mentally she couldn't handle it anymore. And so when I heard that this was a story about the bully and the person that he bullied in the beginning, and then some years later when he actually tries to make it right, I actually remember like why I'm afraid of this, because this is something that can have a lot of bad conclusions to a story. People can die or people can be severely mentally or physically damaged by bullying. So it's not a joke, and it's something that actually happens in real life. So it's something that scares me a little bit more than possessions and other type of things. Not saying that those don't scare me, but you get my point. And also because one day probably I'll be a mother, so I am scared that my future children could go through bullying. I don't know, it's kind of a modern fear, but it's sort of a fear. So yeah, I'm just gonna read this. Now, for the challenges that I have to do for my clan, the first one is Book of Shadows, which is read a book about the occult. And for that one, I'm going to read Hibitsu, which is a gigantic manga by Haruto Ryo. And this basically is focused on urban legends in Japan, where basically if you find this kind of gothic Lolita doll in the trash, she's going to ask you if you want to be, like, if you want a little sister, if you want her to be your little sister. And depending on the answer, everything can go fairly wrong and you can die a painful death. So because this is kind of based on urban legends, I thought that it would be cool for this challenge because it's an occult book. Like, I don't know, it's a doll. It's creepy. I don't know. And lastly is Circle of Protection. Read a book while surrounded by candles or crystals. And because I don't really like to leave my candles more than 1 hour burning in the same space, because it consumes a lot of oxygen and it also leaves a little bit of a funky sort of fire-ish smell, and I'm sort of allergic, so I can't leave them burning for too much, I decided to go with a shorter book. And that is going to be A Silent Voice Volume 2 by the same author, of course. And basically this one is 5 years after what happened in the first book, and then I guess the story progressively continues in the same timeline, I believe. And this is when our main character, Shoya, I believe that's his name, meets the girl he used to bully in middle school and tries to apologize and to start over with her. And I really want to see what happens. I want to read the entire series that I have that only has 7 volumes, so I decided that this readathon would be a good start for that one. So that is all for my TBR for this readathon. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, leave a like or subscribe down below. And yeah, if you're going to participate in SBOOKTOBER for this year, please tell me something in the comments down below. I would love to know if you're participating and what books you hope to read for this readathon. So yeah, guys, happy readings to you all. Bye!